Good evening. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin here with a check of your First Alert forecast. We are streaming on Atlanta News First, the YouTube account, atlantanewsfirst.com, in the First Alert weather app, all here to keep you updated. I'm tracking some storms this evening. Again, not much has changed from earlier today when we last spoke. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin, and we still do have a few showers and thunderstorms moving around North Georgia, Metro Atlanta this evening. Pretty skyscape here, though. We'll take you outside. This is a live look from downtown Atlanta. That is Centennial Olympic Park in the foreground. That is the bins there in the background, with a lot of cloud cover out there, and clouds, of course, roaming the metro because we have showers and thunderstorms fairly widespread across North Georgia this evening. Now, we've had quite a bit of storm activity since about 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we're now 6, 7 hours into this, and storms are slowly winding down, but not completely. A lot of folks out and about, maybe up in the mountains on our area lakes. Weather has sent many folks indoors this afternoon and now into this evening. In fact, we're still tracking some showers and storms moving through the mountains. If you were up on Lake Blue Ridge, Lake Burton, and Lake Rabun, these communities either have been stormed on or they're about to be. In fact, one downpour here now moving into Helen. This is moving due east towards Lake Burton and Lake Rabun. Into Helen by 8:29 on its current heading into Mountain Scene by 8:40. Turnerville by 9:16 into Clayton Central portions of Rabun County by 9:31. Thunder, lightning, heavy rain. With these, we did have one severe thunderstorm earlier this evening in Habersham County, but that has weakened. It has fallen apart and did not see any reports of damage with that particular storm. And I think we're kind of losing some of the ingredients needed to get storms to severe limits, but some gusty winds, small hail, still a possibility. Up the 75 corridor, Dalton, Georgia, your downpours have stopped. Back to just light rain. In fact, rain's about to end in that area, getting down into the Pickens County region, even northern Cherokee County, northern portions of Bartow County, north of Cartersville, 575 and 75 from Canton to Cartersville, points north. That's this light, steady rain. Ellijay, Gilmer County down into Tate, moving through. A little shower here in the Silver City area, Dawson County, right over Doherty, just to the west of Georgia 400, and we'll put this back in motion, popping up and moving to the east. It's brief heavy rain, not torrential, and no thunder or lightning with that particular shower at this time. Southeast side, we're still tracking some rain as well. It's been a stormy late day across portions of Lake Sinclair and Lake Oconee, and storms are continuing to kind of bubble up in this part of the viewing area, south and east of the city of Atlanta. I-20 corridor from Madison, Georgia, back through White Plains, headed towards Augusta. You're going to be in and out of rain to the east of Rockdale County, east of Conyers. And again, all this green you see over the city is basically ground clutter. This time of day, radar pulls a fast one due to physics and what we have going on with the radar. It's picking up stuff at the ground, trees, bugs, things like that. And what we're noticing, though, I can kind of draw this out. We have a little gust of wind moving out of these storms to the south and east of Atlanta. Another gust of wind moving the opposite direction, coming in from storms that were up in the mountains earlier. And these will probably meet up over the city of Atlanta, generally kind of in this area. So from the city and then off to the southeast side. So we very well could see a few more showers and thunderstorms develop this evening across North Georgia, and maybe a little bit closer into the metro here between now and, we're streaming at 8:25. Between now and 9:30, I think we'll see some more showers and thunderstorms develop. However, the risk of severe weather is starting to diminish. Most of those outdoor plans are basically done for the day. So First Alert Weather Day, we're going to peel that back here within the next couple of hours. But if you do have later evening plans, maybe you're grabbing drinks with friends or something like that, through the 9 o'clock hour, isolated storms possible, and then after 10 p.m. in particular, the closer we get to midnight, the drier it is going to get. And a pretty quiet and dry night is in the forecast. Waking up tomorrow morning, low to mid-70s. It's going to be humid on Labor Day. No First Alert Weather Day for Labor Day Monday. Conditions actually looking a little bit better tomorrow. I think showers and storms will be more hit or miss. They will be more spotty. And we can show you that right here. This is a forecast model, what a computer thinks radar will look like as we go through the day tomorrow. And in general, we're forecasting a drier Labor Day. Not completely dry. A couple of showers possible, but drier than it has been today. Let's start that clock early tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Notice 7, 8, 9. Some clouds, mild, temperature 70s and 80s by mid-morning, mid to late morning. And humidity is still pretty elevated tomorrow, so it may have a little bit of a heat index. It may feel a little hotter than what the actual thermometer reads or what your phone app says it is. And then as we get to early afternoon, heat and humidity giving way to more clouds, really billowing up as we get into that 1, 2 o'clock time frame with a few showers and storms developing. But again, here we are at 3 p.m. We'll pause it for you. Notice how storms are very spotty, less than what we had today, less than what we had yesterday, but still a few showers and storms around, both up in the mountains and in northeast Georgia. Also, I think a focus shifting further south of I-20 from Troup County over to Upton County, Lamar County, on into Putnam County, Jasper County, Eatonton. If you are staying an additional day, like Sinclair, like Oconee, you're dealing with storms this evening, and you could have a few more going around tomorrow afternoon into early evening. Simply put, it's a great day to have the First Alert weather app. If you have any weather questions, comments, concerns about the forecast, I want to also remind you that we are streaming right now Atlanta News First on YouTube. That's a place you can ask a comment. Also, you can text us, 470-777-WANF. That's 470-777-9263. So moral of this story, kind of a stormy afternoon and now evening across North Georgia, and we're going to be dealing with a few more showers and storms before we really start to see things wind down and the forecast dry out this evening and overnight tonight. Tomorrow, it's not a First Alert weather day. I think less of an impact to your outdoor plans, but also it's North Georgia. It's now just early September, and we will probably still have a couple showers and thunderstorms developing around the day, around the area tomorrow. Few and far between, not a washout by any stretch, but have that plan B just in case, and keep your precipitation and your lightning alerts turned on in the First Alert weather app. You'll get that first alert. You'll get a little buzz on your phone, possibly before you even see the cloud developing or hear that first rumble of thunder in the distance. Still going to be warm tomorrow. High temperatures in the lower 90s. Not as warm as it was today. We managed mid-90s once again. 94 at last check. In fact, I can pull this up. We get our early to mid-evening update from the National Weather Service, what the high temperature was at Hartsfield-Jackson. Of course, Hartsfield-Jackson is the official climate site for the city of Atlanta. And pulling it up right now, we actually shot up even more. We made it to 96 degrees this afternoon, so a little bit cooler tomorrow, but still I think low to mid 90s. And the First Alert forecast, 91 in Atlanta, 90 in Eatonton, 91 LaGrange. Mountains a little cooler. Look up in Ellijay, up in Gilmer County, Fannin County, White and Union, Towns County, Lumpkin County, Raven County, Clay County, North Carolina. Temperatures in the mid-80s as an average, and some of those peaks even cooler back in the lower 80s. And if you have grill duty tomorrow, you're probably happy we're going to shave a few degrees off of the temperatures tomorrow afternoon. Hottest, of course, before we get into the 6, 7 o'clock time frame. Our high temperature typically occurring in the 3:30 to 4:30 time frame, though today's high temperature occurring at 156, and then we had those showers and thunderstorms popping up, rained at the airport, and that cooled the temperature down just a little bit. So for grill duty tomorrow, it's still going to be hot. It's going to be a little humid, so it's going to feel even hotter, but in general, a cooler feeling day tomorrow. Now for that First Alert 7-day forecast. If you missed our early evening newscast, here's another check of the 7-day. Streaming on Atlanta News First Plus, 91 tomorrow afternoon. Look at this drop in temperature, though. For those heat haters, we'll call them, that are over summer and are ready for fall, ready for a big change in the weather, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're trending cooler. And initially, we're dry. I think a lot of clouds Tuesday, Wednesday, so these aren't going to be cooler, sunnier days. They're going to be days that, yes, they have lots of clouds, but dry. Temperatures back in the low to mid-80s and mornings back in the 60s as we get into especially that Wednesday, Thursday morning time frame onward. Now, we do have a First Alert weather day Friday. Showers and maybe a couple of embedded thunderstorms moving in starting Thursday, but Friday looks like the wetter day. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, more than 5 days out here, more than 120 hours away. So there are some changes possible to the forecast, but we're highlighting Friday as a day that probably has our next round of weather that could, for example, slow the morning commute, have you adjusting how you get the kiddos to school. And if rain lingers, could impact Friday night lights, Friday football play across North Georgia and Metro Atlanta. I do think the system is going to be pretty progressive, as we say, moving through pretty quickly. It's not going to linger too long. So as we get into next weekend, we remain fairly comfortable, technically cooler than average. And your forecast dries back out. Just an isolated chance of showers and thunderstorms in the forecast Saturday. And then back to completely dry weather as we get into our Sunday. Doesn't look like we have any questions, nor comments, nor concerns coming into the feeds. Not noticing anything on YouTube, nor no one is texting us either. So hopefully everyone has the forecast. Again, always here to keep you updated. First Alert weather app, again, is a great tool to have. It's free. You can customize it. You can get as many alerts from us as you want or as few as possible. Just cater it to your needs. And you can edit all of the options there, what you get in the First Alert weather app. Just search Atlanta News First or First Alert Weather in your app or Google Play Store. Little thing different tonight, we're going to be streaming our 10 p.m. newscast, which is typically on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, streaming it at atlantanewsfirst.com. You can also watch it in the app, First Alert Weather app or the Atlanta News First app, the news app. And then we're back on TV on ANF, Atlanta News First at 11. Of course, some new data coming in by then, but don't anticipate any changes in the First Alert forecast. Marcus Finch on YouTube. Glad to see the cool down coming. Absolutely. Not just back to average. We're actually going to go to the other end of the spectrum after tying a record high temperature this week. We are back to below normal, cooler than normal temperatures with highs struggling to get to 80 degrees. Now, part of that is because we're expecting widespread cloud cover and rain as we get into Friday, First Alert Weather Day. But also just a cooler air mass shift in the wind, maybe a northeast wind, some cooler air riding down the spine of the Appalachians and into North Georgia and metro Atlanta. So yeah, Marcus, little taste of fall, another one coming up. We've already had a few mornings in the 60s with that front we had just a bit ago, but more substantial, maybe not that much cooler morning-wise. Afternoons will be cooler than the last little batch of cooler air, and I think that it's going to stick around a little bit longer. Microbio S saying hurricane season is calming too. We're in a bit of a lull. There's some uncertainty how much we will pick back up as we get into the rest of hurricane season. However, we do have several areas that we are watching, and I can go ahead and give you that update right now. We'll go ahead and pull it up. Just got some updates, though, from the National Hurricane Center, so just bear with me. Going to be changing the numbers. We'll kind of just talk about it live here. And let's see. Let's walk you through this again. This is a look at the Atlantic Basin. I know there's a lot going on this particular map, but just in general, look at these polygons and begin just getting some of this information. And they have adjusted the development chances with this particular set of systems that are not yet tropical, but there's a chance they could. 40% chance of development with a wave that's now approaching the Lesser Antilles, moving to the Caribbean. Medium chance that becomes our next tropical system. And then with this one out here to the east, just off the coast of Africa, kind of to the south and west of the Cabo Verde Islands, that actually has a 30% chance of tropical development there in the far eastern Atlantic. And then off the Texas coast, this is an update. They've actually lowered the chance of development, though we may see this figure bounce around just a little bit, but lowered the chance of development down to 10% with an area of storminess. It actually is an area of low pressure, but it's off the coast of Texas, regardless of whether it gets a name, whether it becomes a tropical system or not, bringing some heavy soaking rains to portions of the Texas and Louisiana coastlines. So Microbio S avatar I'm chatting with on YouTube. A bit of a break in hurricane season. This is the climatological peak, but doesn't always lay out like that, and it does look like we're going to get a little busier as we get into the month of September, but we will have to see what the final numbers stack up. We're already, above average, or we were leading up to this lull, and we'll just have to see how the rest of the season goes. As they say, it only takes one, and there are signs that we're going to be getting a little bit busier, at least, as we get into the middle of the month and as we approach that climatological peak of hurricane season. Microbio saying so. Some Gulf hurricanes are still possible. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Hurricane season is not over, and it officially ends November 30th. The Gulf can have systems up until late in the season, and I would say even the Western Gulf through the first week or so of October, and then the Southeast coast is actually prone to some late season hits, we'll call them. Looking back through history, Matthew 2016 is an example. Wilma back in 2005 is an example. The Eastern Gulf, the Caribbean, the Southwestern Atlantic oftentimes can remain fairly active even into late October. So certainly we still have a long way to go, but we'll take the quiet while we have it, and we'll keep you updated if anything does get classified, if anything does develop. But back home, the forecast is an improving one. Showers and thunderstorms this evening, giving way to some drier weather tonight. Tomorrow, a little bit of a drier day. A drier Labor Day is ahead. No first alert weather day tomorrow. Just isolated showers and storms. More drying time, fewer plans, fewer neighborhoods impacted by showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Nonetheless, not completely dry. And then as we get into the middle of the week, we're going to trend cooler as well. Temperatures back in the upper 70s and lower 80s, and we're going to remain fairly comfortable after that first alert weather day Friday because of more rain, which we need at this point, but could impact your day. So we're going to give you that first alert weather day, that extra first alert and heads up, but drying out as we get into next weekend. I want to thank you for tuning in and for watching, everybody. Again, streaming the 10 o'clock newscast. It's not on Peachtree TV tonight. We have been preempted, but we will be streaming that at AtlantaNewsFirst.com in both apps as well. And then back on WANF, Atlanta News First at 11. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your evening. Stay safe. Have a also great rest of your holiday weekend.